Hey guys, welcome to another video.
In this video, we have again brought you an exciting topic that is
4 epic animated movies that is suitable for all age groups.
I've got to deal with the KID.
You can talk!
Goo goo gaga.
this video is going to be really interesting not only for kids but also for elders.
So don't skip this video
Watch it till the end. Let's get into the video.
right now.
The first movie here is Angry Birds Movie 2, which was released in the year 2019.
This movie was directed by Thorup Van Orman.
It is an animated action comedy movie which was released with a budget of $65 million. This movie is a continuation of the first part of Angry Birds sequel.
In the first part, the story was based on how the pigs steal the eggs of the birds and how the birds get them back.
In the second part, the movie tells about how the birds and pigs together get rid of a new enemy.
So after 3 years from when the birds destroyed the pigs island, the pigs rebuild their island and start having prank fights with the birds.
Nope. Chuck, anything to the north?
Nope, nothing.
What's that?
Uh-oh. Incoming pie!
It's coming straight for us!
What do we do? Duck! Ah! Hey, sorry, buddy.
All over my face.
Those pigs. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 2! Bomb, you say 1. All right, 1! Yeah, got him!
These two parties start having small fights within themselves, but Red, along with Chuck and Bomb, tries to save their island from pigs.
But one fine day, when these two groups were fighting, there was an unknown attack on the Pigs Island from an unknown place.
Bird Island? What the heck is that? And where did it come from? We're gonna need a bigger slingshot.
After a research taken over by the pigs, they found out that the attack was from the island of eagles.
The Pigs team also discovered that the eagles from the Eagle Island have created a special machine to attack the Birds Island and the Pigs Island.
So this idea of eagles forced the birds team and the pigs team to unite and form a temporary truce in order to defend themselves from the eagles.
I got it! Oh no!
Check it out, everybody!
Let me see that. A truce! A truce! A truce with the pigs! A truce!
The prank war is over! What?
After they united, Red, Chuck and Bomb seek the help of the mighty eagle to fight against other eagles of the Eagle Island.
Oh.
The birds team decides that they need an intelligent person in their team. So they called up Silver, Chuck's sister, who was an engineering student.
And these are the guys.
Hey, we're the guys.
Guys, this is Silver.
Oh, wow. It is such a pleasure to meet not you, but you! May I shake your hoof?
Well, thank you. I like her. So I hear you're some kind of engineering wizard or whatever.
Oh, I mean, I don't like to brag, but... Wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards?
Then the movie tells about how the pigs team and the birds team deal with the eagles and get united.
Form tropical islands like I deserve to! Stop! Oh, no.
This movie has collected a box office of $154 million.
And was awarded a prize for the most favorite family movie.
The critics say that the second version of Angry Birds sequel is better than the first.
I'm freaking out!
The next movie we have is The Boss Baby, which was released in the year 2017.
This movie was directed by Tom McGrath.
The movie was made with a budget of $125 million but gained the box office of $528 million.
The movie starts with an 8-year-old boy named Tim living with his parents, Ted and Janice, happily.
One day, Tim is surprised when a baby wearing a business suit arrives at his home in a taxi, and Tim's parents refer him as Tim's little brother.
Tim is suspicious on the baby because of his clothing and strange behavior.
Soon, Tim learns that the baby can walk and talk like adult. At last, the baby introduces himself as the boss.
Goo goo gaga.
No, you can really talk. I heard you.
Fine, I can talk. Now let's see if you can listen. Get me a double espresso and see if there's some place around here with decent sushi. I'd kill for a spicy tuna roll right about now. Get yourself a little something.
Who are you?
Let's just say I'm the boss.
The boss. You're a baby. You wear a diaper.
You know who else wears diapers? Astronauts and NASCAR drivers, that's who. Called efficiency, Templeton. The average toddler spends, what, 45 hours a year on the potty? I'm the boss. I don't have that kind of spare time.
Well, you're not the boss of me.
I am the boss of you.
No, you're not.
M2.
Or not.
M2.
Since then, Tim starts searching for an opportunity to get rid of the boss baby, but they all fail.
Finally, Tim gets really angry and plans to slingshot the baby out of the window.
Templeton, let's be reasonable. We can be reasonable, right? What are you doing?
You've been asking for this since you got here.
We can talk about this over a juice box.
Time for juice boxes is over.
No! No, Templeton, you wouldn't.
Say bye-bye, baby. You're fired.
Tim, what are you doing?
Nothing.
But unfortunately, Tim's parents enter the room and catch him in the act.
Tim's parents ground him for an indefinite period of time until his rivalry with the boss baby turns into a friendship.
Then boss baby apologizes to Tim and says that he is from Baby Cop.
He gives Tim a pacifier which took them to the baby cop.
Well, the truth is, I'm no ordinary baby.
Well, no kidding.
I'm on a mission from above.
Are you the baby Jesus?
Yes, I'm the baby Jesus. No! You see, I'm more middle management for the company.
The company? What company?
Here. Take this. It'll explain everything.
What do you want me to do with that?
I want you to suck it.
You suck it.
No, it's for you to suck.
Ugh, I'm not sucking that.
Suck it.
I don't know where it's been.
It's not where it's been. It's where it will take you. Don't you want to know where babies really come from? Binky, Papish, Nook Nook, Boo Boo, Bobo, Baba, Choopy, Hushy Baby, Tootsie. It goes by many names, but through its power, you will know the truth. Come on, faster!
Boss Baby explains that he was sent to see why puppies are being loved more than infants.
He says that by drinking the secret milk formula, the babies can work like adults. But once the baby stops drinking the formula, it turns into a regular baby.
How come you're not normal?
Well,
After coming back, Tim agrees to help Boss Baby execute his project in stopping the Puppy Co. release their new forever puppy, which never gets old.
During this project, they discovered Francis, the head of Puppy Co, used to be the head of Baby Cop.
Surprise!
a baby Corbinky? Where did you get that?
Oh, you don't recognize me? Perhaps from my youth.
Super colossal big fat boss baby?
Whoa. He is him? And him is you? Except older and wrinklier. That's not right.
So then the movie basically explains about how Boss Baby stopped Francis from releasing his new puppy and saved their parents.
At the end, Boss Baby finishes his project and goes back to Baby Co.
You look great.
Good job. Don't always have to toe the company line, you know. It's okay to think for yourself.
No, sir. No way. That's a terrible idea.
That's the attitude.
Oh, you're so right. You got it, sir. You're the man. Absolutely.
This letter should get you into the school of your choice.
Kindergarten? Best boss ever.
And you guys, here you go, big guy. Ah! I'll miss you too, buddy. Okay.
It'll be okay, big guy.
So what am I gonna tell Mom and Dad after you leave?
Oh.
No way! Lamb! You fixed her!
Goodbye, Tim.
Bye. Oh, yeah, right.
But both Tim and Boss Baby could not avoid thinking about each other. So the Boss Baby came back permanently as a brother to Tim with the name of Ted.
But the good news is that you can never be fired. And I'll be there. Year after year after year. You're here! You're here! You're really here! Gentle. You came back! Lindsay! Aww! Who's ticklish?
And that the movie ends.
This movie was nominated to 20 different awards and has won 6 awards in total. It was even nominated for Oscar awards.
Well, sweetie, that's how I remember it.
Kid, I hear you're gonna have a baby sister.
I wanted a horse.
Here you go, kid. Go get yourself a horse. You know, I'm proud of you, Leslie.
Back at you, Lindsay.
Hi there, baby sister.
The next movie we have got to see is The Cars 3, which was released in the year 2017.
This movie was directed by Brian Fee. It is an animated sports comedy movie which was mainly known for its animation.
This movie is based on a character called Lightning McQueen and his love for racing.
Lightning McQueen and other veteran racers suddenly find themselves struggling to win against the next-gen racers, especially with Jackson Storm.
The flag is out. It's the final stretch. McQueen in the lead. Okay, let's see what you got. It's Jackson Storm for the win.
These new racers make use of advanced technologies and modern training methods.
In the final race of the season, McQueen eventually attempts to overtake Storm.
But he loses his control and suffers a violent crash, leaving him badly injured.
As Storm settles into the pole position.
Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's end this season with a great race!
Can he hold on to it?
Hey, McQueen, you alright? Listen, don't you worry, pal. You had a good run. Enjoy your retirement.
Storm takes back the lead.
Unbelievable! McQueen is fading! McQueen is fading! Fading fast!
No. No!
Months later, McQueen is still under hospitality in the Radiator Springs, the same place where his late mentor Doc Hudson lived.
After receiving some encouragement from his friend Sally, McQueen decides to get back to race.
He calls up his sponsors Rusty and Dusty,
but later gets to know that they have sold it to a new owner named Sterling.
So McQueen gets to meet his new sponsor Sterling in the same place.
There, Sterling assigns McQueen to be trained under a racing trainer, Cruz Ramirez.
Sterling forces McQueen to head his retirement.
But McQueen refuses and convinces Sterling, allowing McQueen to participate in the final race.
So then the movie tells about how McQueen and Cruz cross many struggles and gets into the race in Florida.
But here comes the twist.
At the end, Cruz attempts to participate in the race instead of McQueen.
Keep this up, you'll finish in the top 10. Top 10's not gonna cut it, Smokey. 3 laps to catch her. Yeah, okay. Tell her thanks. Luigi, Guido, tires, Fillmore, fuel.
Okay, I'm here. What's going on?
Hey, Ramon, got your paints? You know I do.
Wait, guys, what are you...
And you're gonna finish it.
What?
She'll damage the brand. She's just a...
Hey! Did I ever tell you how much I love your mud flaps?
Out of my way, Bumpkin.
Jack! Ramon!
Best I could do in the time frame, boss.
Your first chance, Cruz. And this time I want you to take it. Oh, hey! 35 miles per hour!
The beach. I need you to think of the beach.
Mr. McQueen?
Yeah, it's me. Remember the beach. You got every tool you need.
Now remember Thomasville.
Thomasville?
Yeah, sneak through the window. I'm moving half a lane.
Got it.
All right, watch that lap car. He's gonna go high. Up on the inside. Careful you don't go airborne.
Now?
Yes, now. Watch out by the wall. Okay, I want you to pit. Watch, go! That's it, nice and straight.
Just want to let you know, Ramirez is moving up toward you.
Why should...
Ramirez is in third.
Costume girl. You know, at first I thought you were out here because your GPS was broken. Don't listen to him, Cruz.
That you can play dress up all you want, but you'll never be.
What happened there?
Yeah, he's in my head.
No! Listen.
However, she manages to win the race at the last moment by flipping over Storm.
Come on, Cruz!
Not angry.
You know, you can use that anger to push through.
I said I'm not angry. You don't belong on this track.
Yes?
I don't believe it!
Way to go, Cruz! Yes!
At the end, McQueen decides to continue racing and become Cruise's trainer, just like Doc Hudson did for him.
Get her done, 51! Someone just say,
This movie was made with a budget of $175 million but gained a box office of $384 million.
And has also won many exclusive awards.
fella, take my drip pan and I've taken my nap. Bring it on, old man. Luigi?
The next movie we have is How to Train Your Dragon.
Although there are many other movies in this series, first part is considered as the best movie in the sequel.
This movie was directed by Chris Sanders and Dean DeBlois.
This animated adventure fantasy movie is based on a 15-year-old Viking boy named Hiccup living on Berk.
Berk is a remote island subjected to frequent dragon attacks. Hiccup is deemed too small and weak to fight the dragons with others.
So he instead fashions mechanical devices under his apprenticeship with Gobber, the village blacksmith.
During one of his attacks, Hiccup shoots down Night Fury and dangerous never before seen dragon.
But since nobody believes him, he goes on himself to the forest to find the Night Fury, where he sees the dragon injured because of his attack.
So knowing that he cannot get himself to kill the dragon, he sets the dragon free.
Hiccup, when returns to the forest again, finds that the Night Fury cannot fly since its tail is crippled by Hiccup's attack.
He then befriends the dragon, naming it Toothless because of its tractable tooth.
Feeling guilty of crippling Toothless's tail, he designs a harness rig and a prosthetic fin which helps the dragon to fly once again.
Observing Toothless, Hiccup becomes increasingly friendly with other dragons as well.
By this, he gains admiration of many of his peers, including Astrid, a tough Viking girl.
Astrid eventually finds Toothless in the forest, but Hiccup takes her flight on Toothless, demonstrating that dragons are harmless.
But unexpectedly, Toothless takes them both to the dragon's nest, where they discover a gigantic dragon named the Red Death, which eats other little dragons unless they bring in food from the island.
Don't remind me.
Toothless, what's happening? Whoa, what is it?
What's going on?
I don't know. Toothless, you gotta get us out of here, bud. It looks like they're hauling in their kill.
What does that make us?
What my dad wouldn't give to find this. Oh, it's satisfying to know that all of our food has been dumped down a hole.
They're not eating any of it. What is that?
All right, bud, we gotta get out of here. Now!
Back at the village, Hiccup is put on test to kill Dragon, where he finds himself being saved by Toothless.
But unfortunately, Toothless is caught by the other Vikings, and Hiccup accidentally reveals that Toothless is capable of locating the dragon's nest.
Hearing this, Stoic is cheered up and uses Toothless to reach the dragon's nest, where he breaks out the nest and let most of the dragons fly out.
So then the movie explains on how Hiccup, Astrid and their other friends shoot down the Red Death and unite the dragons with humans.
But during this fight, Hiccup loses his lower left leg.
Soon, Hiccup regains consciousness, finding himself admired by the village and by Astrid for saving the island from a great destruction.
This movie was produced with a budget of $165 million but gained a box office of $495 million.
And has also won many exclusive awards, including a number of important awards such as Annie Awards for the Best Animation Effects and Annie Award for featuring the Best Animated Character. Okay guys, that's it for this video.
Hope you would have enjoyed this video.
If you like this video, support us by subscribing to Speeding Snail.
The second part of this video will be releasing soon.
So to stay tuned with the next video, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get notifications immediately.
Okay guys, meet you in the next video. Until then,
Bye bye.
bye bye.